What's up, trainers? Welcome back to PokePlayLab_DBSHQ, your go-to hub for high-level Pokemon TCG strategy and Master Tier deck builds. Today, we're breaking down a brand new Master deck build featuring Mega Lucario EX and Annihilape, a brutal duo that's making serious waves in the current meta. With explosive synergy, strong tempo control, and non-stop pressure, this deck is built to perform whether you're grinding the online ladder or battling it out at your local events. If you run a Pokemon or TCG YouTube channel, drop your link in the comments. I'm always happy to check out and support fellow creators in the community. Make sure to swing by the community page to vote in our latest image poll, and stay tuned to the announcements playlist for tournament updates, raffles, and upcoming giveaways. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can donate through the Cash App link on our YouTube page. Every bit of support helps keep the content coming. So buckle up, trainers, it's time to unleash the chaos with Mega Lucario EX and Annihilape. Stay sharp, stay awesome, and as always, keep playing. Alright, let's kick things off with 3 copies of Riolu. Riolu is a basic fighting type Pokemon with 80 HP, and it comes with a solid early game attack, accelerating stab. For just 1 fighting energy, it deals 30 damage, but it can't use accelerating stab again on your next turn. Riolu has a ×2 weakness to psychic, and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy, making it fairly standard but reliable for setting up your board early. Next up, we're running 3 copies of Lucario EX, which evolves from Riolu. Lucario X is a fighting-type Pokemon sitting at a solid 260 HP, making it a strong mid-game attacker and setup piece. It has 2 attacks. First is Aura Uppercut. For just 1 fighting energy, it deals 50 damage, perfect for early pressure. Its second attack is Tornado Rush. For 1 fighting energy and 1 colorless energy, it hits for 100 damage. On your next turn, Tornado Rush does 100 more damage before applying weakness and resistance. So keep this in mind. The first Tornado Rush hits for 100, but if Lucario X sticks around, the next one jumps up to 200 damage. That said, Lucario X's main role here is to set up the next step, Mega Lucario EX. Lucario EX has a ×2 weakness to Psychic and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy. Next up, we're running 2 copies of Mega Lucario EX, the Mega Evolved form of Lucario. This fighting-type powerhouse comes in with a massive 340 HP, making it incredibly hard to take down. Mega Lucario EX has 2 strong attacks. First is Aura Jab. For just 1 fighting energy, it deals 130 damage and lets you attach up to 3 basic fighting energy from your discard pile to your benched Pokemon in any way you like. This attack is huge for accelerating energy and keeping constant pressure on your opponent. The second attack is Mega Brave. For 2 fighting energy, it smacks for 270 damage, but Mega Lucario EX can't use Mega Brave on your next turn. And that's totally fine, because we're running Switch, letting us pivot out and reset so we can keep attacking. Mega Lucario EX has a ×2 weakness to Psychic and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy, which is very manageable for a Pokemon of this size. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Mankey. Mankey is a basic fighting-type Pokemon with 60 HP. And it has a simple but sometimes sneaky attack. Its attack, Dual Chop, costs 1 colorless energy. You flip 2 coins, and this attack does 10 damage for each heads, so it can chip early or get lucky pressure in the opening turns. Mankey has a ×2 weakness to Psychic and a retreat cost of just 1 colorless energy, making it easy to move around while you set up for Annihilape. Next, we've got 2 copies of Primeape, the evolved form of Mankey. This fighting-type Pokemon comes in with 110 HP, giving you a solid mid-game presence. Primeape has 2 attacks. Sweep the Leg costs 1 fighting energy, deals 30 damage, and lets you flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Great for disrupting their setup. Mega Punch costs 1 fighting energy and 1 colorless energy, dealing a reliable 70 damage for consistent pressure. Primeape has a ×2 weakness to Psychic and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy, making it easy to pivot when needed. Next, we've got 4 copies of Annihilape, the evolved form of Primeape. This fighting-type Pokemon comes in with 140 HP and is easily the main powerhouse of this deck. Annihilape has 2 attacks. Tantrum costs 1 fighting energy, deals 130 damage, and leaves Annihilape confused. Destined Fight costs 1 fighting energy and 1 colorless energy, and knocks out both active Pokemon. This is where the deck really shines. Destined Fight is a game changer because if your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX or Mega EX, They'll lose 2 or even 3 prize cards, while you only lose 1 prize card in return. It forces your opponent to target Annihilape immediately, which plays right into your strategy. Since we're running 4 copies, it's crucial to get Annihilape onto your bench as quickly as possible to start applying that pressure. This card is the centerpiece of the deck and can completely swing the game in your favor. Annihilape has a ×2 weakness to Psychic and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Swinub, a basic fighting-type Pokémon with 70 HP and 2 useful attacks. Call for Family costs 1 colorless energy and lets you search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokémon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. This is perfect for setting up your board early and getting Mankey out fast. Lunge Out costs 1 fighting energy and deals 10 damage, which is small but can help chip away at the opponent early. Swinub has a ×2 weakness to Grass and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy, making it a solid, reliable setup option for the deck. Next, we're running 2 copies of Mamoswine EX, the evolved form of Piloswine. This fighting-type Pokémon is an absolute tank, coming in with a massive 340 HP. Mamoswine EX has 1 powerful ability and 1 attack. Its ability, Mammoth Holler, lets you once during your turn search your deck for any Pokémon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is huge for consistency, whether you need Mankey, Primeape, Annihilape, or any other Pokémon in the deck. Mammoth Holler helps you find it. Its attack, Rumbling March, costs 2 fighting energy and deals 180 damage, plus 40 more damage for each Stage 2 Pokémon on your bench. With Annihilape on the board, this attack can hit for some serious numbers. Mamoswine EX has a ×2 weakness to Grass and a retreat cost of 4 colorless energy, so you'll usually want to plan your switches carefully. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Boss's Orders. This card lets you switch in one of your opponent's benched Pokémon into the active spot, which can be a total game changer. The key here is timing. Only play Boss's Orders when you know you can knock out that Pokémon right away. Whether it's to finish off a damaged threat or pick off a weaker target for a quick prize card, it's all about setting up that decisive play. That's why I run 3 copies. It can turn the game in your favor instantly. Use it wisely. Next we have 4 copies of Dawn. Dawn lets us search our deck for a basic Pokémon, a Stage 1, and a Stage 2, reveal them, add them straight to our hand, and then shuffle up. And in this deck, that effect is absolutely perfect. Dawn becomes a full evolution engine. With a single card, we can grab Mankey, Primeape, Annihilape and, or on the other side, Riolu, Lucario EX, all in one shot. That means instant setup, 0 guesswork, and maximum consistency. We're not hoping to draw our pieces. We're searching exactly what we need. That's why Dawn is a must-have supporter in this deck. It fuels our evolutions, speeds up our game plan, and gets our win conditions online fast. Next we have 2 copies of Wally's Compassion. I was torn between using Penny or Wally, but for this deck we decided to try something different, and Wally's Compassion is a perfect fit. This card lets you heal all damage from one of your Mega Evolution Pokémon EX. If you heal any damage this way, you then return all energy attached to that Pokémon back to your hand. This is absolutely huge in clutch situations. If your Mega Lucario EX is about to be knocked out, Wally's Compassion can fully heal it in a single turn and even let you recover all the energy you invested. And remember, when a Mega Pokémon is knocked out, your opponent takes 3 prize cards. Keeping your Mega alive can literally decide the game, and Wally's Compassion makes that possible. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Arven, and this card is an absolute must-have in the deck. Arven lets you search your deck for an item card and a Pokémon tool, reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. This gives you incredible consistency and setup power. Most of the time, you'll be using Arven to grab Rare Candy or Buddy Buddy Poffin, since those are your key setup pieces. Whether you're building your board early or pushing your evolutions faster, Arven makes sure you get exactly what you need when you need it. Now we're moving into the item cards, and next up we've got 2 copies of Buddy Buddy Poffin. This card lets us search our deck for up to 2 basic Pokémon with 70 HP or less and drop them straight onto the bench, then shuffle up. And for this deck, that's exactly what we want. Buddy Buddy Poffin is a perfect early game setup tool, grabbing Swinub, Mankey and Riolu and getting our board online immediately. No wasted turns, no slow starts, just instant bench presence and faster evolutions. That's why Buddy Buddy Poffin earns its spot in the list. It keeps our setup smooth, consistent, and on pace from turn 1. Next, we're running 4 copies of Rare Candy, one of the most important item cards in the deck. Rare Candy lets you choose one of your basic Pokémon in play and, if you have the matching Stage 2 Pokémon in hand, you can evolve it immediately, skipping Stage 1. Just remember, you can't use Rare Candy on your first turn, or on a basic Pokémon that was played that same turn. In this deck, Rare Candy is key for fast evolutions, letting you jump Mankey straight into Annihilape and Swinub directly into Mamoswine EX. The faster we evolve our board, the faster we apply pressure and close out games. Next up, we're running 3 copies of Night Stretcher, and this card is all about resource recovery. Night Stretcher lets you grab either a Pokémon or a basic energy from your discard pile and put it straight back into your hand. Simple effect, but incredibly powerful in this deck. Most of the time, you'll be using Night Stretcher to recover Mankey, Primeape, or Annihilape. Once your opponent sees what this deck can do, especially after you pull off Destined Fight for the first time, they're going to do everything they can to target and knock out your Annihilape line with boss's orders. Night Stretcher lets you immediately reload, putting those key Pokémon back into your hand so you can rebuild your board and keep the pressure on. And if you're ever short on energy, it can grab a basic energy instead, but recovering your Pokémon line is usually the priority. Next, we're running 1 copy of Super Rod, and this card is all about recycling your resources. Super Rod lets you shuffle up to 3 cards from your discard pile back into your deck, in any combination of Pokémon and basic energy. You can get creative here: 1 Pokémon and 2 energy, 3 Pokémon, or 3 energy, whatever you need to keep your engine running and your attacks flowing. It's a must-have for sustain, recovery, and keeping your board pressure high late into the game. Next, we're running 2 copies of Switch, and this card is all about mobility and smart positioning. Switch lets you swap your active Pokémon with one on your bench, and in this deck, that effect is huge. If Mega Lucario EX takes damage or locks itself out after using Mega Brave, Switch lets you pivot it safely to the bench and keep your momentum. On the flip side, when you've got Annihilape set up on the bench and ready to go, Switch gives you another way to bring it straight into the active spot to fire off. Destined Fight. Whether you combo it with boss's orders to target the Pokémon you want, or simply switch it in to apply pressure, the play is always live. Running 2 copies of Switch keeps your plays flexible, protects your board, and ensures your key combos stay online. Exactly what this deck needs to stay in control and close out games. Next, we have 1 copy of Prime Catcher. This card lets you switch one of your opponent's benched Pokémon into the active spot, and if you do, you also switch your active Pokémon with one from your bench. It's a powerful gust effect that gives you control over the board and helps you pick the right target at the right time. To round things out, we're running 11 Fighting Energy, making sure our Mega Pokémon stay fully powered and attacking every single turn. No downtime. Just constant pressure from start to finish. And that wraps up our Master Deck build featuring Mega Lucario EX and Annihilape. A deck built for fast evolutions, explosive combos, and relentless aggression. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe for more high-level Pokémon TCG deck builds, and drop a comment letting me know your favorite combo or what deck you want to see next. Until next time, keep training, keep battling, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go make some knockouts happen.